This is the story of the Harrison Speakeasy. This story begins in 1875 when the Harrison family arrives and settles in the north of Manhattan and opens a small fish market at 109 78th Street. As the years went by, Edward, their son, manages to transform this small family business into a prosperous enterprise, supplying the whole city and making it the most famous fish market of New York. It's 1901 when Nicholas Harrison is born, and the old family store becomes a well-known fish restaurant, visited by politicians, actors, and writers, amongst other great personalities of the start of the century. The Harrison family lived happily in the populous city when in 1920, something changed their history forever. The Prohibition. Nicky, who had an errand youth, decides not to continue with the way of his three brothers and drops out of college. The old Ed Harrison, disappointed by his son's choice and knowing that youth needs discipline, forces Nicky to work for him and gives him small jobs at the Lower Manhattan Pier, where Nicky soon learns that brothels, bets, bribes, and smuggling were as clear as crystal. So then he begins to deal with Italian Americans linked to the mob who made a proposition to him to open a secret bar at the back of his father's famed restaurant. Nicky takes that idea, and so then the Harrison Speakeasy turned into the first stealthy bar of the north of Manhattan. Throughout the roaring 20s, Nicky becomes the most distinguished person in the midst of illicit alcohol smuggling, and during those years, his bar is visited by celebrities, politicians, and gangsters like Al Capone, Charles Lucky Luciano, and Arnold Rothstein, amongst others. But the party wouldn't last forever. In 1929, Nicky's linked to the settlement of the Baseball World Series, and after a long investigation, he's convicted for illegal bets in 1930. His businesses were teared down, and so did his famous bar. The Harrison Speakeasy closed its doors forever. Or at least that's what he thought. Nicky decided to refuge in the peculiar Buenos Aires, falling in love not only with the place, but someone in it. Decades passed, and his progeny, inspired by their ancestor's story, decides to revive the myth in a mysterious corner of the city. The Harrison Speakeasy reopened its doors in May of 2013. A legend reborn.